My lord, you've hardly said a word since we left Castlewood.
I don't feel like talking.
That woman friend you came for, did you save her?
No. She's dead, Victor. We failed. And we were so close.
But the child we're bringing back is alive and well, isn't he?
Yes. There's the child. Leave me, Victor. I must talk with Mors.
As you wish, my lord.
Mors.
Curse that Valar! His shadows rob us of our revenge, and he killed Jane. She died before my eyes. She sacrificed herself to save her child.
I share your grief, my friend. We did our best. You cannot blame yourself.
No, it wasn't enough. Otherwise, she would be here with us. I no longer have a choice. I must take care of her child.
Speaking of the child, how is it?
He's sleeping. You do know it's a boy.
When we return to Riverspring, I'll hand the child over to Maester Harwin.
I would prefer to have him stay with me.
Mors, we don't know if the child is well. If it was a difficult delivery, a Maester should examine him.
You're probably right.
Never fear, my friend. You can stay with him as long as you like.
Very well. Until we find a better solution, I imagine your Meister will do.
Master Alistair, you are safe. When I received news of Castlewood, I feared the worst. According to Maester Martin, Valar razed the castle, and Lord Halton is dead. Some are even talking about magic. Tell me.
All this is true. Halton was killed by a shadow that appeared out of nowhere by Valar's command. He'll no longer be a threat to Riverspring. This time, the shadow did not come for us. However, we failed to save the life of the child's mother.
Can I take a look at him?
Care for him as you would your own son.
His mother is dead. She was assassinated by Valar. He must be on his way to King's Landing to collect his reward. If we don't quickly waylay him, the Queen will give him Riverspring.
Whether he be at King's Landing or elsewhere, I'll kill him. No matter what it takes.
King's Landing? Well, there's something I must tell you. Our king is dead. The city is in mourning.
First it was Jon Arryn, and now Robert Baratheon.
That man was a giant among men. I doubt his death was due to natural causes.
From what I know, I imagine he was murdered, like his hand.
The people talk of a hunting accident. He died the night you left for Castlewood. Queen Cersei will act as regent in his stead. However, Eddard Stark, the new king's hand, has opposed her. Ever since, the Lannisters are readying for war.
So, the Redcloaks will be there.
Indeed, they have been seen in the city, seeking out and killing men of House Stark who had come from the north with Lord Eddard. You cannot go there, my lords. The entire city will be under watch. Going there now would be suicide.
No, this is our chance to kill Valar. We can use the unstable situation to cut the head off the snake.
You may be right, but I agree with Mors. We should take advantage of the chaos this struggle for power has created. We can take down Valar before the Queen makes him a lord.
Master Alistair, I beg you.
Never fear, Meister. It's no worse than what we did during the rebellion.
At the time, our enemies referred to us as the double-edged sword. Let's show them that our blade is still sharp.
Agreed. Neither the Gold Cloaks nor the Bloodseekers can stop us from killing that piece of shit.
Just like the old days. Unpredictable and deadly. But what are we gonna do with the child?
The boy will not be safe in Westeros. I would send him to the Free Cities, like I promised Jane.
I know who could help you then. We'll find him in King's Landing.
Who do you speak of?
Lord Varys. He's the only one capable of getting the child to safety.
The Spider? I don't trust him.
Had he not helped me, I would be dead now, Mors. He's on our side. For reasons unbeknownst to me, he wants Valar dead as well. Believe me, my friend, he's our best ally now.
Perhaps. But if we take the child with us, he will hinder us.
That's true. Valar will have probably warned the City Watch to be on the lookout for us. Listen, I think it's best if the child travels to King's Landing with Harwin. If they take a different route, they'll attract less attention than us. Valar has surely put a price on our heads.
Can you do that for us, Maester? Can you take the child to the city?
We'd be taking many more risks, but yes, of course. I'm determined to help you save Riverspring.
Once inside the walls, we can meet behind Jeremy, the potter's workshop. Do you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Harwin?
Yes, I understand. It is indeed a safe haven, far from inquisitive eyes.
Does this plan work for you, Mors?
I'm happy with that. If you trust him, then so do I. If anything should go wrong, my dog can always pick up your Maester's sin. Watch over this child as you would your own life, Maester. And if we don't make it, it is up to you to take the child to the free cities.
Very well, Sir Westford.
So the matter is settled. Time for Valar to pay.
One moment. I must warn you about Valar. I've made some queries about him after what happened at the duel. Your half-brother has mastered a form of dark magic that can summon shadows. It is a forbidden and deadly art.
We suspected that. What have you learned exactly?
Alas, I was only able to uncover fragments of information. All that we know, we learned from an order of sorcerers, from Oshai by the Shadow. It seems that these shadows can only follow simple orders, such as killing a specific target. Apparently, these shadows have the ability to pass through walls, but it is possible to stop them from carrying out their missions.
That would explain what happened to Halton. Valar's shadow was able to penetrate the fortress's defenses. What else have you learned?
They said that one pays for this type of sorcery with one's blood. Each time the spellcaster uses this kind of magic, he must pay for it in one way or another.
That explains why he seemed weaker at the Halton stronghold. He was stronger when he dueled me.
That is good to hear, because it means that he cannot summon too many of these shadows. We must still be careful.
Shadows or not, Valar will die by my sword. I won't fall for his magic tricks a second time.
But we won't succeed if we don't know our enemy.
The only thing we need to know is how to kill these shadows. The rest is of little importance.
That is the problem. It's said that the shadows have no substance.
If that's so, then we will die. We'll see soon enough how true these stories are.
I'll just slit the swine's throat. I almost had him in the duel. It matters not if I lose my life afterwards to his witchcraft.
Very well. I think we've covered everything. We'll leave tomorrow at dawn. There's no going back now.
One last thing, my lords. During our absence, a raven came with a message for Sir Westford.
A raven? Who could be trying to find me?
The message bears a black seal. The Night's Watch probably heard that you were here with us.
Arrested that murderer Patrick. Couldn't bear eating in the common hall with him around.
That son of a bitch! I always said he's a wildling. He should have been kicked out of the Night's Watch long ago.
The animal couldn't stop himself. A savage would always be a savage.
May the others take me. Moors, your face. What happened to you?
It's a long story, Halfhand. I will tell it another time if you don't mind. I'd rather you tell me how things are going here.
You did receive my message, didn't you? After the Gorn tribe fled in a panic, our Builder brothers went to Icemark to seal up the door. Another band of wildlings had managed to get to the south of the wall and to hide themselves where they were working. The wildlings attacked in force. I was there to protect our brothers, but things didn't go well. It was impossible to catch them. They would come upon a man alone, tear out his heart, and disappear into the forest in a blink of an eye. There was nothing we could do.
You were responsible for the repairs, Quarren. The security of our Builder brothers came first. Is the work complete?
Yes, the doors are safely shut. Well, I wish those wildlings luck trying to open them up again.
That is a good thing. We can ill afford a gaping hole in the wall. What became of the wildlings?
They're still out there. Once our brothers had safely returned to Castle Black, I took my rangers back to Icemark. But the wildlings didn't wait for us to return. We need you, Moors. Help me find them before they can cause any more damage.
What did your trackers say? Do they have any idea where I should start searching?
The wildlings avoid Castle Black like the plague, that's for sure. But they seem to be heading towards Molestown.
That's unfortunate. It's best if the villagers barricade themselves in their tunnels for a while.
Could you go there, Moors? If wildlings even left the slightest trace, I know you would be able to find it. Drive the fear of the Butcher into their hearts.
I'll see to it, Halfhand. If they're in Molestown, I'll find them.
Thank you, my friend. And watch out for yourself. Remember that these wildlings know how to get by unnoticed. I would not like you to fall into a trap that was meant for me.
If that's the case, I will make them regret that they didn't look more closely at me. So long, Ranger.
How many men did you do?
Good day to you, Moors. You wouldn't by any chance have some work for me there in your pouch?
I haven't forgotten you, Walder.
Show me.
I have brought you the King of the Heavens, Walder.
The Father. What a fine piece. It is very well preserved. I shan't need to work on it long.
You seem very sure of yourself.
The Father judges us all. He is authority and justice. You don't believe me capable of lying to his face, do you? Never fear. I will watch over it like the tip of my nose.
The White Maiden awaits your love and care, my friend.
Really? You have rarely brought me so much pleasure as you have today, Moors. Finding these hues will be a delicate matter. Almost as delicate as this beautiful face. I don't know who sculpted these statuettes, but I'm beginning to think that it's not the work of a man.
Make sure your hands remain steady and focused on the task, Walder.
You think it was...
I have the Lady of the Lantern ready for your hands, Painter.
The crone? I'm starting to believe that you'll succeed in your quest, Moors. You know she represents the wisdom of the ancients, don't you? Those who have the experience to guide us through the trials of the night.
For the moment, in my eyes, she represents the weight of my ancestors.
You'll accomplish this quest, Moors Westford. I feel it in my old bones.
I have found the statuette of the smith. It has been badly damaged.
There's nothing I cannot mend. It's simply going to call for a little time. But the rewards are too good to ignore. It's an interesting challenge, especially the hammer. I wonder what I can do to restore it. Maybe with onyx. We'll see.
I haven't forgotten you, Walder.
Show me.
The final traveler has completed his journey in my safe hands.
What do you mean by that, Knight?
A body which is neither that of a man nor of woman. A face which is but a smooth mask.
The stranger. We of the Night's Watch don't fear him as much as the rest of Westeros.
In the shadow of the wall, we know we already walk by his side towards the unknown. He is an old traveling companion.
Indeed. He deserves a little refreshment. I shall give him back all his mysterious darkness. Trust me. There, they're finally together again. It's incredible. If you'd asked me, I wouldn't have wagered on it.
Do you have all you need now?
Yes, but just give me a moment. Come in, warm yourself up a little. Admire this work. Isn't it magnificent? I can honestly say I have never created anything so beautiful.
Indeed, you've been true to your word, brother. And I mine. I won't forget it.
Honor the Seven and thank them for their blessings. Your vow to them has been fulfilled. I'm certain there's a good reason for that. Your soul is in safe hands, Morse. Be assured of it.
Thank you for everything, Walder. At last, they are together again. My ancestor's vow has been fulfilled. Do you know what this means, Alistair?
I know, Mors. The promise has passed through blood from father to son for almost 3 centuries.
It was a miracle finding each piece after all these years. Godly intervention. All my family can now rest in peace. My bloodline will die out honorably. All our vows are fulfilled. 7 faces for one sole truth. May we be inspired by the wisdom of the crone, the courage of the warrior, the ardor of the smith, and the honor of the maiden. When the stranger takes us to him, may the Father weigh our souls and judge us worthy of joining those that we have loved. As for me, I pray that from this moment until I join them, the Mother watches over those that I have loved so much. I will not be long.
Mors?
Patrick, what are you doing here?
It's forbidden to talk to the prisoners, Mors. You'll have to move off, you and whoever your friend is there.
This man is Sir Alistair Sarwick, a very old friend of mine. I can fully vouch for him.
I see. All the same, that's no concern of mine.
You said that Patrick was your prisoner. What did he do?
There have been some very grisly murders committed.
If I may, pray tell us more about the murders.
Brothers of the Night's Watch have been killed, sir. The murders are all the same. Genuine wildling sacrifices, like we sometimes see beyond the wall.
How many men have been killed?
5. The first 3 victims were members of the group of builders sent to seal the breach at Icemark. Another one was found in the tunnels of Molestown. The last one has only just been killed, right here at Castle Black. Adam Flowers was leading the investigation and has declared that Patrick is the culprit.
It has nothing to do with me. You have to trust me, Mors. I barely knew the murdered ones.
From what I understand, the crimes all seem to be wildling rituals. What makes you think Patrick is responsible?
Adam says he has evidence. I'm not supposed to say anything more, but everyone here at Castle Black knows that Patrick came to us from beyond the wall.
I'd like to carry out my own investigation with Alistair's help.
Well, I suppose I can give you access to the old stables where one of the murders happened. But you have to promise to me that you won't bugger up what we're doing.
On my honor.
If you're a friend of Moore's, you can't be short of it. Tell the guard on duty I sent you. He'll let you through.
Thank you, Duncan. I need to take a look around here. I've got Duncan's permission.
What about him?
He's with me and has permission too. Go and check with Duncan if you don't believe me.
Nah, I believe you. You can go through.
Flowers.
Moors, it's been a long time. And you, my lord. How can we help you? Have you come to join our order?
No, I am just here to accompany Moors on his voyage. I am Sir Alistair of House Sarwick.
So, you're from the south. I would have enjoyed talking to you about the delights of the Riverlands. Unfortunately, I don't have much time to spare. I have an investigation to lead.
That's why I've come to see you. It would seem that Patrick has been arrested.
All our leads do point to his guilt, I'm afraid. It's a grisly business. In total, 5 of our brothers have been found with their chests open and their hearts ripped out.
And what evidence do you have to think that Patrick killed them?
These murders are wildling rituals. There's little doubt they've been performed as sacrificial rites, and Patrick was found beyond the wall. I've long suspected him of being a wildling. What's more, he was close to each of the crime scenes. At Icemark, he was one of the builders whom Halfhand was charged with protecting. As it happens, he was also there in Molestown at the very moment there was a murder in the tunnels.
He was with me when we were searching the tunnels.
That proves nothing. He must have killed him before that. Walder was with him at Sybil's, but he was in a drunken sleep just before the crime. Patrick must have taken advantage of this to take his leave quietly. And now the stables. Who do you think was found in the area? Him again. For me, it's absolutely clear. Patrick is the killer. It makes sense, as everything leads us to believe he's a wildling.
Patrick is one of us. What he did before he took his vows is of no consequence.
We care little for the past actions of our recruits, I admit. But we cannot ignore it if he proves to be a savage killer. Besides, the evidence is overwhelming.
That isn't evidence. It's just idle gossip, and you know that just as well as I do.
Not on that alone, Moors.
What evidence? Is there more?
Searching carefully through his belongings, we found some wildling objects. Trinkets made of feather and bone. They were well hidden, but they bear a striking resemblance to the dire things we found where each of the murders happened. It's best you start believing it, Moors.
I have fought alongside Patrick. He's a loyal brother. I'll do my own investigating. Come on, Alistair.
Do as you wish, Moors. But just remember that I'm the officer in charge, so try not to get in the way of our work.
To the king. He'll send us recruits, you'll see. Night's watch must survive.
And his dog tore the other one's throat right out. I've never seen anything like it. That man is the best warrior I've ever set eyes on. Mors, you're back, and it seems you brought a Southern friend. Is that him?
We'll have to talk later, Lothar. We're in the middle of an investigation and have precious little time.
I'll wager it's about the murder of Miles. Am I right? I might have something for you. He was an old friend of mine.
It seems Miles came to these outbuildings before he died. Were you here then, by any chance?
Aye, I saw him leave the building with Patrick just before his tragic death.
Patrick, you say? Yet he claimed not to know any of the victims.
Let's go back and speak to him.
I swear to you, he wrung his neck. And his dog tore the other one's throat right out. I've never seen anything like it.
Duncan, I need to ask your prisoner a few questions about the murders.
Very well, but be quick. I'll give you a few minutes.
Thank you. Patrick, you know about the rumors going around that you're a wildling, don't you?
You know it's all horseshit as well as I do, Mors.
But Adam seems to have found several wildling objects in your belongings.
Someone's trying to pin it on me. I've no idea where those things have come from.
If that's true, I won't let them execute you. Believe me. But I've just discovered that you were seen with Miles near the outbuildings, right before he died. Earlier, you claimed not to know any of the victims. If you're hiding things from me, don't expect my help.
I made a promise, Mors. I swore by the gods.
You're about to be shortened by a head, Patrick.
You would betray the word of a brother? Wasn't it you who taught me that the bond that unites us is as strong as the wall itself?
Your silence does nothing to further my search, Patrick. And a murderer still runs free, killing our brothers one by one.
You no doubt speak truly. I got on quite well with Miles. I saw a lot of him since we returned from our mission at your side. However, he was worried since his fierce argument with Watt. He even intended to leave Castle Black. He was scared he'd be killed.
Miles was going to forswear his vows.
I tried to talk him out of it, Mors, but he made me promise not to give away his secret.
And do you know what was behind his argument with Watt?
It was something about a patrol they had both been in, but I wasn't able to find out anything more.
It might serve us well to have a few words with this Watt.
You've had your time, lads.
What? Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Mors.
I'm told you had a heated chat with Miles just before he died.
Who told you that pile of steaming dung? I never had any quarrel with Miles. He was one of my best friends here.
Stop lying. You make an ideal suspect for this. So I suggest you start talking unless you want to face the consequences.
Very well then. Miles wanted to go see the Lord Commander to tell him what we knew, and I stopped him from going. That's why we fell out.
What did Miles know?
There's a connection between the murders and the patrol we were in a few years ago.
Tell us about it.
Very well. 4 years ago, Miles and I were both part of a mission beyond the wall. We were on the trail of a band of wildlings, but they found us first. I don't remember much more. Just that it ended in gruesome circumstances. One of our brothers had had his heart torn out by the wildlings. Miles was reminded of this when he heard about these recent murders.
So, all the murders are linked to this old patrol?
Even worse than that. According to Miles, the 5 brothers who've been killed were members of it. One by one. We're being picked off like fleas.
So why didn't you mention this earlier?
Because my memory of it is very vague. But as for Miles, he was certain the killer had to be one of us. A member of that patrol. He wanted to warn Lord Commander, but I stopped him. We can't go accusing one of our own based on vague memories.
Do you remember who was in the patrol? Who was in charge?
Not really, no. It was all so long ago. The worst thing's not knowing what's behind the next tree.
I can imagine. Thank you for your help, Watt. Alistair, we should go check the patrol records. They might clear all this up.
You must find the one that's doing this, Mars. I really don't want to end up with a hole in my chest.
The trail is taking shape.
There's more to do yet. Let's hope we find what we need in the Lord Commander's records. We risk finding further victims if we waste too much time. So, Adam Flowers was in charge of this infamous patrol. And of all those who took part, only Watt is still alive.
We should try and find out more about Flowers.
You're right. Let's go search his chest.
Lucky man.
Bastards.
So, our Adam might not be so innocent.
This letter suggests he performed the sacrifice himself 4 years ago.
Aye. That's very different to the version of events given in the patrol's report. I need to question him as soon as possible.
Rangers talk about abandoned villages beyond the wall and of tribes who migrate to the north. Mance Rayder is rounding up.
Duncan, do you know where I can find Adam?
Of course. He's just left Castle Black with Watt. Another body seems to have been found near Molestown.
Ice and darkness. Watt is the only member of the patrol still alive. Flowers is probably finishing off his last victim.
Adam's got him exactly where he wants him. Damn it all. We need to find them immediately.
So, Mors, are we gonna save his wildling girl?
Patrick has nothing to do with these crimes, and he'll be cleared. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, yes, in that we have a problem with that.
We don't want him with us. That son of a bitch takes sick pleasure in killing us one by one.
We won't let you carry on with your little investigation, Mors. You need to stop it right now, else we'll stop you.
Adam Flowers is behind all these murders. More of your brothers will soon be dead unless we find him quickly.
Flowers. He's the one that ripped out their hearts.
I just don't believe it.
It is true, whether you believe it or not.
The warrior's balls. Well, in that case, I suppose we won't stop you.
A wise decision.
Are you happy now? Here are your cursed hearts. They're yours. White Walkers. I hope you savor them. Moors, There you are at last. And you've brought your friend. That's good. You were all that was missing.
Adam, we know that you're the one killing our brothers and stealing their hearts.
The bastards were trying to blackmail me. I still don't know which one of them it was, but it no longer matters. I got them all.
Are you insane, Adam? Give it up. You're trapped. You cannot hope to escape.
I'm not alone, Moors. They talk to me. Ever since that day, the wildlings forced me to eat poor Argalak's heart. The White Walkers! They want more sacrifices! Always have and always will!
No one is talking to you, Adam. You've simply lost your mind. And now you will die for all the crimes you have committed.
Feel free to try, but they won't let me die.
So, the madman sent his old patrol to the grave.
Few people could have lived after what he went through.
I was unaware how powerful the forces were beyond the wall. The White Walkers are clear enemies of the Lord of Light.
And both nothing more than ghosts in someone's imagination.
You're not one to talk of ghosts, Moors.
I can't argue with that. I found Adam. He was the one behind all these murders.
It's hard to believe.
It all goes back to a patrol 3 years ago, when he said he escaped the wildlings. However, he didn't really escape. The wildlings agreed to let him go, after he ate the heart of the sworn brother they captured alongside him.
No jest. That's disgusting. I can't even imagine.
He thought he'd left all of it in the past, but someone knew his secret and had started blackmailing him. He was certain that it could only be one of the original patrol, so he began killing them off, one by one, the same vile way he killed the first of his brothers.
How could he do such a thing?
He'd lost his mind. When I found him in the forest, he talked of hearing voices and White Walkers.
And what?
He was already dead when I reached Adam. There was nothing I could do to save him.
7 hells.
However, that monster is now dead. So we have no reason to be holding Patrick prisoner anymore.
Agreed. We'll release him right away, as soon as we inform the Lord Commander about what happened.
Thank you, Moors. Thank you with all my heart.
Now you'll be able to resume your watch.
Yes, I suppose. But to be honest, I'm unsure how I feel. My brothers were so quick to turn their backs on me. For many, I was never really one of them.
You're a sworn brother of the Night's Watch, Patrick. No one can deny that.
I suppose you're right.